Victor Lustig was a man made of smoke and mirrors. He was a whisper in Parisian hotels, a ghost on Atlantic liners. They called him the Count, a master of languages, charm, and deception. He could sell you the very air you breathed. Nothing about him was real. He was a phantom, a master of disguise. His legend is built on audacity and pure confidence. Lustig didn't just break the rules, he rewrote them. The world was his stage, and he was the star performer. He understood a simple truth. People want to believe in easy money and secret knowledge. Victor Lustig was happy to be that stranger. He is most famous for one impossible act, selling the Eiffel Tower, not once, but twice. He convinced savvy businessmen that a national monument was for sale. He sold not just scrap metal, but a dream of wealth and status. The Eiffel Tower was just one chapter in a life of incredible scams. He was a chameleon, moving through high society and the criminal underworld alike. His story is about performance, the art of the con. He was perhaps the greatest actor the world has ever known. His life was a tightrope walk without a net, a constant dance with danger. Victor Lustig owned every room he entered, and he left behind only empty pockets and unforgettable stories. Victor Lustig was born Robert Miller in 1890 in a small Bohemian town. The mayor's son, he was restless, intelligent, and gifted with languages. This talent let him blend in anywhere, become anyone. He learned early to read people, their hopes, fears, and weaknesses. His real education was in the world, not the classroom. He traveled Europe, mastering card games and the art of reading faces. He could make a man feel like a friend, then take all his money. A scar on his cheek added to his mystique. A story he changed to suit his audience. He built new identities, Baron von Kessler, Count von Lustig, and more. Each name came with a new backstory and a new suit. By World War I, he was a seasoned con artist. But war changed everything. Europe was no longer safe. He looked west, to America, a land of dreamers and hustlers. There, a man with a silver tongue and false identities could make a fortune. The stage was set for his greatest performances. The shadow born in Bohemia was ready for the spotlight. Victor Lustig was about to become a legend, and America was waiting. The great ocean liners of the 1920s were floating palaces, perfect hunting grounds for Lustig. Wealthy passengers were captive audiences, relaxed and ready to be entertained. Lustig, with his aristocratic air, fit in seamlessly. He observed, identified targets, and orchestrated chance meetings. His charm was his weapon. He listened, built rapport, and made victims feel special. His favorite scam, the money printing machine, a cedar box that duplicated banknotes. The trick was simple: a hidden real bill, a theatrical demonstration, and a promise of riches. Victims paid thousands for the box, only to discover it was worthless. By then, Lustig was gone, a ghost in the crowd. The victims, too embarrassed to report the scam, became his best protection. On these ships, Lustig perfected the art of the con. He sold dreams, not just tricks, and he always sailed away richer. The Romanian box was Lustig's masterpiece. A polished wooden box, brass dials, and a story of secret chemistry. The demonstration was pure theater. A high-denomination bill, a slow chemical process, and two identical bills revealed hours later. The mechanics were simple, but the psychology was profound. Lustig sold not a box, but the intoxicating dream of effortless wealth. He played hard to get, making the box seem too dangerous to sell. Victims begged to buy it, paying tens of thousands. After hours of anticipation, they discovered the truth. The box was empty. The Romanian box preyed on greed, reflecting people's desires back at them. It was a perfect scam, simple, elegant, and devastating. Lustig understood that greed blinds reason. He sold hope, and people paid dearly for it. The box was just wood. The real magic was in the story, and Lustig was the world's greatest storyteller. In 1925, Paris buzzed with rumors about the Eiffel Tower's future. Lustig saw opportunity in a news article about its costly upkeep. He forged government documents and posed as a high-ranking official. He invited select scrap dealers to a secret meeting at the Hotel de Crillon. The pitch: the government would secretly sell the Eiffel Tower for scrap. Lustig played his role perfectly, charming, authoritative, and convincing. He watched the dealers, searching for the most eager and insecure. His Marc-André Poisson, desperate to prove himself. In a private meeting, Lustig hinted at needing a bribe. Poisson, convinced by the corruption, paid up. He bought the Eiffel Tower, on paper at least. Lustig vanished with the money. The con was flawless, and Poisson was too embarrassed to go to the police. Lustig had pulled off the impossible. After the first sale, Lustig fled Paris, expecting headlines. But Poisson stayed silent, too humiliated to report the scam. Realizing his victim's shame was his shield, Lustig returned for an encore. He repeated the scheme-forged documents, secret invitations, the same story. This time his new mark grew suspicious and checked with authorities. The police were alerted. Lustig got word and fled just in time. He narrowly escaped arrest, but his legend grew. To sell the Eiffel Tower once was audacious. To try it twice was pure legend. Lustig's confidence was unmatched. But even the greatest conman can push his luck too far. He left Paris behind, but his story was far from over. The world was still his stage. Back in America, Lustig set his sights on the ultimate mark, Al Capone. Most would call it a death wish, but Lustig saw opportunity. He pitched Capone a scheme to double $50,000 in 60 days. Capone, intrigued by Lustig's nerve, handed over the cash, with a warning. Lustig did nothing with the money. He simply let it sit in a bank. After 60 days he returned, apologizing for the failed deal and returning every penny. Capone, stunned by the honesty, rewarded Lustig with $5,000. Lustig had conned the most dangerous man in America by appearing honest. It was a masterstroke of psychology. He understood that even the ruthless crave trust. Lustig's greatest trick was making people believe in him. He walked out richer, and Capone never suspected a thing. The Count had fooled the king of crime. It was a con within a con. Lustig's legend only grew, and he was just getting started. For years, Lustig stayed ahead of the law, but counterfeiting brought new dangers. The Secret Service, led by Peter Rubano, made him their top target. In 1935, agents finally caught him in New York. But Lustig had one last escape. He fashioned a rope from bedsheets and slipped out of jail, waving to crowds below. For 27 days he was free, a ghost once more. But the law was relentless. He was recaptured in Pittsburgh and sentenced to 20 years in Alcatraz. The grand hotels and luxury vanished. He became prisoner number 300. In Alcatraz, his charm meant nothing. Surrounded by hardened criminals, the master conman lost his audience. Years passed. His health failed. In 1947, he died in prison, pneumonia claiming the Count. On his death certificate, his occupation read, apprentice salesman. The man who sold the Eiffel Tower died with nothing but stories. His legend, however, was immortal. Why do we remember Victor Lustig? He was a criminal, a liar, a thief, yet his story fascinates us. Lustig was the ultimate triumph of wit over power, intelligence over institution. He sold a national monument with nothing but a suit and a story. He conned a gangster by appealing to vanity. His life is a cautionary tale about greed and belief. Lustig understood people's desire for something extraordinary. He held up a mirror to our dreams, and we failed to see the man behind it. His legacy is not wealth, but story. He left behind no fortune, only modern folklore. The man who sold the Eiffel Tower became a symbol of the ultimate con artist. He was a true artist. His medium was deception. In the end, Lustig's greatest creation was himself. He proved that with enough charm and nerve, one man can convince the world of almost anything.